Hi everyone, my name is Mackenzie Abramson. I'm from San Francisco, California. Today I am here as a community voice and a public health professional to share my story. For most of my childhood and even into my early 20s, it went a little something like this. You are too young for that kind of problem. Or, just trust me, you're gonna feel better soon. Maybe something like, well, this is nothing out of the ordinary, don't worry. I'd heard lines like this all the time. It was in 2015 and I was leaving another doctor's office feeling unseen and dismissed. But this time I decided would be different. This time I decided to take control and create a medical binder so that I could prove to the next doctor that something was not right with my body. I had been doing research for years and had so many different hypotheses about what could be wrong with me, but was frequently told, "That's so rare for a 23-year-old, let's not go there." How many of you have heard that before? But after that doctor's appointment in 2015, I kicked things into high gear in terms of advocating for myself. In the end, all it took was one doctor to really listen and say, "You know your body best. If you think something is wrong, let's explore that." The relief I felt in those words exploded as joy on my face. I was quickly referred to another doctor who specialized in medical mysteries. In the end, all it took was that moment. The day of that appointment, I showed up with my not-so-handy medical binder that was hundreds of pages long. Within 15 minutes of skimming the binder and hearing my story, I had a preliminary diagnosis of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Soon after, I saw a geneticist who confirmed this diagnosis, and everything health-related in my life finally made sense. I now had an explanation for the daily pain, the repetitive unexplained surgeries for a single broken bone, the frequent infections and chronic illness. But most importantly, I could now confirm this was not in my head. I thought getting a diagnosis, though, would be the be-all, end-all, and I could start going back to feeling better and normal. I assumed that with this diagnosis, I'd get some medicine, I'd feel better, but like so many rare conditions, there's no cure for EDS, so I started to learn to live my young adult life by managing symptoms. But then I thought, now what? I just have to feel like this forever? After some time wallowing in that overwhelming feeling, I knew that I could not just sit back. I had no idea at the time that getting a diagnosis within the world of rare disease really was the beginning and not the end of my journey. I began to seek out people like me, people like all of us here, living with or impacted by EDS. I went to conferences, I found doctors who specialized in EDS care across the US and even globally. And most importantly, I began to research. All of this information, the knowledge I was building, the medications I tried, the tests I did, the doctors I visited, it all went into that same medical binder, the one aspect of my life that I felt in control of. My binder, an inanimate object, validated what I had known to be true for the last few years, that something was wrong. That binder allowed me to share my journey with professionals and advocate for others like us. I remember one time so vividly, where even after my confirmed EDS diagnosis, I was questioned about my knowledge what was going on with my own body. I'd gone to the ER after a fall. I knew I had probably refractured my ankle, which I had previously had 8 surgeries on. The ER physician came in and, even knowing my diagnosis, looked at me and without taking an x-ray said, "There's no way your ankle's broken and we don't give out narcotics here." I immediately felt as though I'd taken 1,000 steps backwards in my journey. Is that all that people thought of me? I outwardly looked healthy, so I must want pain meds, right? It was another occurrence where I felt disbelieved and questioned. But while the doctor was not able to provide me any reassurance, having that visit in my medical binder does, because it validates all the feelings that I frequently have as a rare patient. It's not in my head. Those feelings are real, and they are valid. 6 years later, I now spend my time working in the rare disease space and advocating for so many patients that are facing similar challenges. I want to remind everyone that your journey is unique to you, but you're not alone. Your story matters, and what you do matters. And if I can encourage one thing today for everybody here, it's share your story. Share it over and over again, because it will make a difference. Because of what I've been through, I'm driven to advocate for others by rare diseases and ease the burden of navigating our healthcare systems. Every day I strive to help others feel that they can be part of the big picture in a small pond. Together as a community, we're going to move research forward and knowledge, and that way our community is no longer going to go under or misdiagnosed. Thank you.